Day 12 of the Radio Free Skaro Fluid Links Advent Calendar. We're halfway there, folks. Halfway to being halfway out of the dark.
Or will be when we're done this one.
That's true. The question comes from Joel Aarons on Twitter. Sarah Jane worked better as a more rounded character with agency with the third Doctor than with the fourth. Influence of production team or lead actor? Comments? Yay/nay? Question mark? That raises a good point. That Sarah Jane actually is a reporter with a gig during season 11, and then she basically throws that away for the most part.
But I mean,
well, that's just it. I think that what it is let's decided. Okay, we're gonna have this character, and then Slayton came along and played her. But we're gonna have this character with these traits. We're gonna do it this way, and they did it. And then after that, it's like, okay, we've done it. So who cares? We don't have to continue this necessarily because it's already been done. I don't know that she doesn't have as much agency or whatever. Because I think of like Pertwee stuff and like, you know, Time Warrior, especially when she's brand new and her first trip in the past, and she doesn't really know what's going on, and then she finds her footing and kind of becomes, you know, badass with like the kitchen crones and whatever. But. Mm-hmm. But she still does that in like Zygons and like
she's less of a. I'm apologizing for the 70s here, but she's less of a woman in peril than a lot of companions I could think of. Mm-hmm. And like she tells Tom Baker when he's being a jackass, which is often.
Right.
So,
I think when she was the companion of the third Doctor, even though you know he had been set free by the Time Lords a year earlier, it still very much felt like he was still based on Earth and did like day trips to the moon. Sure. You know, like they weren't like a constant traveling pair. It's basically, hey, Sarah, what do you like? Even literally at the end of Invasion of the Daleks, like, oh, you could go and write a story, but how about we go to Floriana instead? And she's basically trying to push her into going to this water planet, and then you get the impression that at the end of the adventure they're going to be traveling back to Earth again, and Sarah can just resume her job working for whatever newspaper doesn't care about deadlines because
I always said it was the Guardian. I just in my head it's the Guardian. I'm not sure why. Probably because she's reading the Guardian. Yeah. I think with the K9 and Company.
Yeah,
the Metropolitan is the name of the paper she worked for.
Yeah, but that was it. I don't know if it might be the choices of the showrunners in changing the direction of the show, which I think affected what her character did, because Hinchcliffe comes in and after like a year and a bit of cozy unit stuff, like even in Robot, which is the last story of Letz's time, and the first of Tom Baker's, of course, she is very much still a reporter, and still like that is actually fundamental to certain portions of the episode. She gets into the SRS meeting and stuff to sort of like cover it with the flat earthers and everything.
I love Robot, but that SRS meeting is the funniest thing in the entire. It's funnier. It is funnier than the giant robot being King Kong, which is quite silly.
I know. And then. You know, and then at the end of that, Philip Hinchcliffe says, let's go out into space. I'm so tired of Earth and UNIT and all this nonsense. Let's go back into space. And so because of that, Sarah becomes, well, I guess I'm just someone traveling around in space now, and her job is pretty much gone, even though she does it in, Terror of the Zygons, as you said.
Isn't that kind of the fate of every companion, though? Like, Harry is the only other person I can think of who just goes back to his job. Like, pretty much every companion's like, well, I'm traveling now, and that's that, you know?
Pretty much. Ben and Polly left thinking, hey, wow, we just got back on the exact same day that we left. Well, let's just stay here then, as if nothing.
I mean, Perry's a botanist for about 5 minutes, which, you know, okay, that's a flaw of the show's writing, too. They could have put more of that into the show.
That's true. I mean,
Mel was a computer programmer for even less time.
Yeah.
Barely, yeah.
Hardly at all.
But is the new show any better for that, really? Like, I can't think of what off the top of my head.
It's funny how basically the job of, we're sort of tying like, you know, the agency of a companion to her profession or function or job. How, you know, in the olden days, it was basically, well, we've killed literally everyone you know of, Vicky and Dodo.
Exactly.
How about you just join the TARDIS? As opposed to like in Rose, is thinking, well, you still have your family, but we did literally blow up your part-time job, so I guess you've got nowhere else to go. Might as well come with us. And so that's how
They still killed all of Tegan's family, such as
I was gonna say R.I.P. Auntie Vanessa.
That too. I'm saying it was all that's how
She
it was
did go back to her job though, and then she got fired.
And then she got fired. Yeah,
But she did go back.
she did go back.
So with all of what you were just saying there, Stephen, I think to go back to the original
Sarah
question,
Jane,
I think Hinchcliffe is probably the bigger influence.
Yes.
In how things shifted.
Just because they wanted to go into space and not fight, alien invasions and stuff like that. And so there is not much call for a reporter in space, apparently.
No, like an investigative.
But damn it, there will be.
Yeah.
An investigative journalist on Solon, not so useful.
Oh, they should be, though. Quite frankly, I think they should be.
They have one on The Expanse, and she's a really terrible reporter, actually. But
I think perhaps Sarah Jane should have spent some time doing an expose on Nerva Beacon or something like that. Sort of I don't know,
or the SRS,
doing the SRS, doing a Zoom podcast or something like that. Oh, I'm here to break some news about apparently the Nerva Beacon has been here for thousands of years too long.
Well, think of the think pieces she could do on Harrison Chase or Amelia Dukas.
Oh my God, yeah.
Thing is, I think the time of the think piece, well, it's not 1980 anymore, but think pieces have kind of died. It's now terrible takes on Twitter that have taken over for bad faith arguments.
I think Sarah Jane Smith should bring back the think piece, perhaps. Perhaps there should be a Twitter account that is like a ThinkBot, that is essentially a randomized Sarah Jane Smith pitch bot for various stories that she could send back to the Metropolitan based on her various adventures.
To what day are we on? The 12th now?
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to, on the 13th of December, somebody creating that.